Hello my friends, and welcome back. In today's video, we are going to be completing our little GUI miniseries. We have been working on this little GUI for Komorebi, which is built using eGUI and eFrame. And I think we are almost complete. There are a few things that I would like to do in this final episode. So right now, we are not able to scroll. I am trying to scroll my mouse wheel up and down right now, and nothing is happening. So that's one thing. I want to see if we can make the text bigger and smaller. And there is actually one more feature that I would like to add. So why don't we get started with the scrollability. Right, so I guess we go to the docs. eGUI scroll view. Scroll area, maybe. Is there one in eFrame? What do we have? I don't think that's it. Alright, let's just, let's see what we can do here. So I want everything inside of this basically to be UI scroll, nope, okay. eGUI scroll area, vertical? Is that it? I feel like there should be a better way. Let's go to eFrame docs rust. That seems a bit clunky. Alright, I guess we try it the eGUI way. So eGUI scroll area vertical dot show UI. Is that right? No, that's not right. Something's up. Show takes add contents. Let's see. eGUI scroll area. Show UI. Okay. So we have to do UI as the first argument, and then we do this thing. So putting all of the things basically. Actually, we want to move this up even more. So I want to put the entire central panel. No, I want everything inside of the central panel to be in a scroll area, I think. That's not right. That's also not right. Why is that not right? Probably because it needs one of those. Yeah. Alright, let's run that again. And now let's see. Okay. It's kind of weird that we have this here, but okay, I can work with that. That looks so far so good. But I want to know, how can I make this take up the entire space? Maybe we can set the width set the minimum and maximum width. Oh, I guess that sets them both at once. And that is a method on UI. Let's go here then. UI set width. And how do I get the current width? It's probably in the context. Available rect, maybe? Let's move that out of the way. Position and size of the GUI area. I like that. Width. Alright, maybe that will work. Oh yeah, that does it. So, does it change? I need to, there we go, yeah. So it changes along with our resizing, so it's kind of responsive. That's nice. So that's one thing to remember. If you do set up a scroll area inside of a central panel, you will want to set your UI width to the screen rect's width so that you don't have the scroll bar just kind of here in the middle when you stretch it out a bit further. Nice. What else did I say? I wanted to play around with the text size. And by the way, if my voice sounds a little different, it is because I caught a cold last week, which is why this video has been a little bit delayed. GUI set text size. Tweak UI scale globally. If you want to scale the entire GUI pixels per point. I'm guessing that's probably also on UI. I don't have UI there. UI pick... Oh, maybe it's on context. Set pixels per point. What is it by default? Where is our context definition? Pixels per point. Do we have a default? Okay, so we have 1.0. So I guess we'll try and scale it by 1.5 to make it a little bit bigger and see how that goes. I still have not gotten to the bottom of those issues where something happens with the sockets basically, and we can't get a response back from Komorebi over the socket. Weird, that actually made it smaller. That's a little bit weird. Alright, I'm gonna, if you'll bear with me quickly, I'm gonna change back to my regular DPI. I have a little shortcut for that on my Stream Deck. So, okay, this definitely looks bigger. So if I set this to 2, maybe it's a fractional scaling thing. Sorry, that needs to be 2.0 because this is a floating 32-bit number. Okay, so this is definitely bigger. So I wonder if, there's just something funny going on when I switch to 225% DPI, which I do for the videos. So let's try running this once more. Well, I see that when people are running this at a normal DPI, it is going to be bigger. So I'm just going to chalk that down to being some weirdness with me having my screen currently at 225% DPI. So you may have seen we have this coming up here. Function JSON view UI is never used. And I think the last thing that I want to do today is show some JSON. So I want to add something for debugging here. So why don't we add the debug stuff right at the top. And for me, this is magic, and hopefully you'll see why it is magic. What I'm attempting to do. I hope it turns out magical. So debug, and right, I think I want one more UI collapsing here for window rules. And then here, I would like to have JSON view UI with some code. So, what would I like to do? What would I like to do? Let's go to our top level config. Where is it? So I want to have a debug rule, which is going to be of type debug rule, which should be in the Komorebi rule debug. Okay, so we'll call this rule debug. And a rule debug, this is going to be an option, because we won't have a debugged rule to show until we go through the whole process. And then we need a debug HWND, which is going to be an isize, and so this is going to be the window that we send through the rule debugger, and then we are going to have a list of windows, debug windows, which I guess can be a vec of window. So what I want is to get a list of all the windows on the screens that are manageable. Then I want to select one of them, and when I select one of them, I want to send a message to Komorebi, and I want to populate rule debug with whatever we get back. And then I want to show that debug JSON in our little JSON UI, JSON code UI. So we need to call into the Windows API for this. So we'll do Windows. We have this at the workspace level, so we can call that in. And I've written this code before, actually, so I'm just gonna copy and paste that in the interest of time, since you're all here for the GUI side of things and not necessarily wrangling the Win32 API. So we have to add these new things here. So we can start with that debug HWND is 0, at debug windows as an empty vec, and our rule debug as none. And actually, maybe we can populate the windows at the beginning. So I am just gonna grab this to iterate through all of our windows. We're gonna do debug windows, replace this occurrence only. And then we have a little enum window function here as well that I want to grab. So we'll go through this briefly in a moment. So we have our vec here, and this is going to be a mutable vec. Let mute HWND lookup windows, and we can import this Win32 API enum windows call. It's an unsafe call. Most Win32 APIs, unfortunately, are unsafe. And boy, oh boy, the lag I'm experiencing today here on the IDE is something else. My goodness. HWND lookup windows. We can just call this debug windows, actually. Cool. So the way this works is that you call the function with a callback function, and as the second parameter, you pass a pointer to whatever as an isize, a mutable. I don't even know what this is. It's an L-param, which is you have to get a ref mut to what you want to send, and then you send it as a mutable pointer, a mutable dereferenced to the thing as isize. That took me an incredibly long time to figure out. So now I just copy paste it whenever I need to. And so this is the function that actually does all of the heavy lifting. So we take our L-param and we unsafe cast it back to a mutable vec of window. We instantiate a window because each time we go through this enum window callback, it's applying it to a window handle. And then we're going to do some basic checks on this window. We're going to make sure, is it a window? Is it not minimized? Is it visible? Does it have a title? And does it have an executable? And if it matches all of those preconditions, then we push it to our list of windows. So that is our state setup. So now from here, we're going to build out our little UI. So when we first instantiate everything, right, our debug window handle is going to be 0, and we can't do much with that. So let's do window equals window, HWND is self dot debug HWND.0, and we're gonna do like a combo box, right? Combo box from label. I think that was it. Wait, let me see. How did I use the combo box last time? GUI combo box. Right, yes. Like this is basically what we want. So let's yoink. And so our label, right? our label. So let label equals if let okay title equals window dot title. Actually, I want to have both the title and the executable, so let's do it like this, where we match on both of those things, because they both return results. Let's make a little bit of space for ourselves. So otherwise we're going to do select a window, right? Otherwise we're going to do format title executable. And so this is going to be our label. And then, not sure about the selected text just yet, but we're going to show UI. And we're going to do for the window in self.debug windows, we're going to do UI selectable label, actually. Selectable value or selectable label? Selectable. Wait, let me think about this for a second. How's this gonna work? Okay. So I think here, actually, we want this to be our label, and here we're going to say select a window or something like that. And then we're going to do so for each one in debug windows, if UI dot selectable value, and what does it take? It takes a value, so this is the value that we're going to update. It's the mutable value. So we're going to do self debug hwnd. Selected value is going to be w.hwnd, and the text is going to be we'll come back to the text. And so if this is changed, then we want to send a message. So here, let's say, so this, like, we also want pretty much the same thing. We want window title and window executable. w.title, w.executable. Except we do not have the ability to use that operator, so we'll just do a straight unwrap here. So if this is changed, now we go back to our Komorebi client and we say we're gonna send a query, actually, and this query is gonna be socket message debug window self.debug.hwnd, and we're gonna unwrap this. Let debug rule equals that, because we're expecting something back. And so we need to Here we are back here. So that's a string. We want to pause that. So we'll do sed JSON from stir, take a reference. All the unwraps in here. And then if we get a debug rule, right, we're gonna do self dot debug rule is gonna be some. Alright, I'm just gonna rename this so that it is consistent. I'm already getting very confused. Damn, this is so slow. And then, so, once all of that is done, if let some debug rule equals self dot debug rule, so this is only after we've pressed a button, right? Right, so if we have a debug rule, we are going to call our JSON view UI function. And it takes a UI, and this is what it does, right? We say for the language JSON, we get the syntax highlighting, and we just, yeah, we have the default theme from memory, we give it some code as a stir, and we say highlight it for this language, which is JSON. So we're gonna do debug rule, we're gonna do sed JSON the other way, to string unwrap There we go. So I mean, let's see how this works. Let's see how this works. That doesn't work because we have to borrow. We have to borrow here. Okay, so we have our debug menu at the top, window rules, select a window, and now we have all of these windows that we can select from. And so why don't we take a look at our window? Oh, I think we need to do some prettification of this, but you can see it's got all the debug stuff, and the most important one is should manage equals true. So we are gonna do toString pretty, and we're gonna try that again. So we have select a window. Wait, do I still keep those? Yeah, okay. So here we go. And we've got all of the debug information. If you're interested in this, you can take a look in the window file, window.rs in Komorebi to see, exactly what's going on. So there is I think the function should manage, right? And we pass a debug object, and for everything we just go through and we set all of these. These are all of the things that get examined by the rule engine, and it tells us whether or not we should manage a window in the tiling window manager. And so if we take a look at one that should not be managed, which is the border. So the border should be managed as false. It is a window, it has title, it isn't cloaked, which is fine, but it has one of the window styles is missing, basically. So yeah, that's why it doesn't get managed. Perhaps not super useful for like everyday users who are not doing debugging, but if you are wondering why, for example, a rule is or isn't getting applied, you know what? Maybe we can show that here. So let's say in my komorebi JSON file, oh, okay, so maybe I can do this for media player. Yes, I can. So we've got media player here. Excellent. I'm gonna need to run this again to get the latest windows. So media player has a float rule. So I'm gonna put this through the debug engine. And we can see here that should manage is false, and we can see that it matches our float identifier, and that's why it's false. I think this is magic. I think if you spend any amount of time developing anything with a rules engine, this sort of stuff will also seem somewhat magical to you as well. So, let me think. Is there anything that we can do here? You know what? It would be nice if we could have a button here that updates the windows. UI button. I think it's UI. No, not like that. UI button. Text. Refresh. Windows. I think my borders just died. On. Wait, how did I use the button again? On clicked. So when it's clicked, right? Oh, if clicked. So we want to basically do the same thing here. Where is our button? So when it's clicked, we want to run basically all the same stuff again, and then we want to assign our new list of debug windows. So let's quickly restart komorebi, and then let's run komorebi GUI. Nope, not having it. Not even having it a little, because I need to assign this new vec. You cannot assign self.debugWindows to self.debugWindows. So here we have this list of windows, and so let's open up an Edge window. So you have Microsoft Edge. It is not in here, but if I hit refresh windows, we now have Microsoft Edge, and we can take a look and we can see should manage, we can see the window styles, we can see if any rules pop for this window. So with that, I think it is time for us to wrap up our little mini-series. I really hope that you enjoyed this series if you watched it all the way through. I hope that this has sold you on eGUI for certain types of applications, maybe not every type of application, but for certain types of desktop applications, particularly debugging tools, I think it is an incredibly good fit. And hopefully now you have enough knowledge to go and try it out, and then you can see for yourself if my recommendation is accurate for you. So this is going to be released with the next version of Komorebi. The current version is 0.1.25. The next one will be 0.26. I'm hoping to get that out in the next week or two. It has been a while, 2 weeks since the last release. I don't like to let the releases pile up for longer than a month, you know? So yeah, this has been a great little mini series for me. The next thing that we will be doing on this channel, the next mini series, is actually also gonna be GUI based. And I am looking for a specific issue, which I cannot find. Workspace buttons, this one. So I did a little proof of concept showing that it is possible to make a top status bar with GUI. And yeah, I thought, why don't we build this from scratch together and aim to release it in one of the future versions of Komorebi. So next up on this channel, the next series that we're going to be doing is building a status bar for our tiling window manager in GUI. I hope that you'll join me for that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I think it is time for us to wrap up, and we are going to wrap up by saying a very, very big thank you to all of the lovely, lovely sponsors that make this project possible. We're going to start from the right. So, starting with Tony. Thank you, Tony, who also lives in Washington State, like me. Thank you, private sponsor number 1, Azine, James, Pavel, EFL1P. Private sponsor number 2, Juan, and Friday. G'day, new sponsor. Welcome. Mike WW, Michael, Cesar, Bo I think is also a new sponsor. Welcome, Bo. Welcome to the Peoplehood. Thank you, Greg, Nia, Maxwell, Sundance, PJHFGGIJ, Hyro, DM1681, Darian, Kwang, Surefire, Solomon. Private sponsor number 3. We have 3 private sponsors now. Kilroy, my boy, Evan, Alex, Julian, and Hisayuki. Thank you all so very, very much, my friends. If you too would like to become a sponsor, head on over to the sponsor page. You can become a one-time sponsor, you can become a monthly sponsor, and honestly, even $1 a month makes a huge, huge difference to me. We are quite close, I think, to our 50 monthly goals sponsor. 50 is such a huge number for me. I never would have imagined. So I think right now we probably have 20 something monthly sponsors. If you would like to help us get to 50, you will also get a shout out. You will get a special role on the Discord server. So please do, if you are able, please do become a sponsor. If, however, you are not in a position to become a sponsor, make sure that you are subscribed on the YouTube channel. as GZ Codes is now a fully monetized YouTube channel, which means we get a little bit of ad revenue, you know, those ads that come before the videos, the few seconds that you watch before you click away. That all goes to help the channel and the project. Alright, my friends, it is good to be back and sharing all of this fun stuff with you. I hope that whatever you all do today, you have a great day, free Palestine, and I'll see you all back here next time.